Then you go back to the studio.
Person.
Gotta hit go live when you see your content come on the screen. I'll do.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Chandria Circles Back. Today, we're going to talk about the Lotto Brokey Challenge, and we're going to take calls from new managers today to learn more about what their issues are and how to unpack them. So, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We have a lot to cover in the next couple of minutes, and so hopefully you can join. Feel welcome to chat us in the box as we talk about all these different things, and happy to answer some of your questions as well. So first things first, let's talk about the Lotto Brokey Challenge. As I introduce myself, I'm Chandria Lucius Harris, your leadership and executive coach. And by day, I help leaders all over the world unpack their people problems. And by night, on Wednesday nights only, I help you all live. So let's talk about the Brokey Challenge. So here it is. Lotto, which is a very well-known rapper, singer, artist, celebrity, came out with a song called Brokey. And the song pretty much shared her sentiments about how she felt people who were broke living. And her fans didn't like it at all. So she said, okay, let me circle back and let's fix it. So she put out a challenge and pretty much asked all of her fans and viewers and followers to record themselves at their job displaying their best brokey challenge. And whoever won will win $10,000. And I thought, oh goodness. The moment I seen the challenge and I heard do it at your job, I thought, oh goodness, we're in trouble. Well, a couple weeks passed, maybe a week passed, and we found that there was one employee who actually did the brokey challenge. I'm sure there's plenty who did it, but one who was went viral for doing the challenge. And she was a Waffle House employee of 6 years. And she shared with the world that Waffle House let her go after completing the brokey challenge. Now, in your own spare time, go check it out. Go look at the video and see what you think or the reasons why you think she may have been terminated. But I just want to focus a little bit today and talk about like what you can and can't do on companies' time. So in your handbook, almost all employees have them, right? Your handbook will have something called social media policy. Anytime you mention a company on your social media, it is considered marketing. So that means that company's marketing department is now following that content and now is supposedly involved with that content. So lesson number one is like, go look at your social media policy in your handbook and understand exactly what is expected of you when it comes to social media. Not only is this young lady from Waffle House have been like disrupted because of it, but there's so many employees across the world who violate social media policies and unfortunately was let go. I have actually also seen where employees who posted a video that was good, like think about the Chick-fil-A conversation where the young lady was talking about all the ways to like have great food at Chick-fil-A, and she was let go. The reason why is because companies have their own brand that they're creating. They have their own social media policy, and unless you're working with that marketing department and the HR department, you're not really authorized to speak on the behalf of that company. Now, I do know sometimes it is in the best interest of that company, so they go viral and everyone goes to their restaurant, which is wonderful, right? But as an employee, you are responsible for knowing that handbook. Now, questions that pop up in my head when I look at young lady who got terminated because of the brokey challenge, I want to know, number one, did she know that there was a social media policy at Waffle House that did not give her permission to record? Number two, there were a lot of other people involved in that video from what I've seen. And so I'm not sure if it just was her and all of them. So many questions. But what I want you all to know today as we discuss and unpack this issue is that all companies have social media policies now. You want to make sure, number one, if you're at the company, you're on company's time and you are honestly only there to do a job. And if you're not the job that actually hired you for, then you're violating your HR, your job description, all the things. But number two, the moment you put their brand online, that is considered marketing. And you may not have permission to be marketing for that company. So I'm so sorry that happened to Miss, I think her name is Ramirez, and I'm so happy that Lotto like fixed it and like brought her on the show and like she won the money and all is well. But just for you all to know, moving forward, look at your social media policies, and if as a new manager, if you haven't looked at that policy, make sure your employees know what it is, because you are also responsible for your team to know what your policies are. And if you don't have one, get with your teams now to create one, because social media is here to stay. And there's very blurred lines when it comes to what you can and can't put on social media. So yeah, that's what I feel about the whole Brokey challenge. And hopefully she's able to go off and like do some fun stuff in entertainment or find another role after learning that big lesson on social media. So now I am getting ready and I'm prepping to take a phone call. As you all know, Chandria Circles Back is all about me helping new managers unpack a challenge in the workplace. So tonight we're going to take our first phone call to hear from a new manager on what he or she is going through. As I mentioned, we don't know who they are. We don't know where they live. We know nothing about them. We will not see them live. You'll only see me live. And the goal is to hear what their issue is, and we'll today unpack and figure out how to help them solve it. So I'm going to turn my phone lines on as I prepare to take a phone call from any one of you. So let me make sure everyone has the phone number to my Google phone. So if you're live today and you need the phone number is 678 235 5979. That is 678 235 5979. Last time I'll put in a chat. It's 278 235 5979. And I'll take your phone call tonight and unpack any issue that you are going through in the workplace this week or whatever challenge you are going through. In the meantime, if you're working somewhere, go pull out that social media policy and make sure you understand. I've seen where employees have posted how they felt about a company or an employee, and that also was like grounds for like coaching or like disciplinary action or even termination as well. So social media is a very blurry space to be commenting, especially in this political climate right now and where America is right now. You really want to be very tuned into your social media policy, and you want to know what is expected of you. Like I've seen where an employee was actually added. Oh, I got a phone call coming in. Okay. I got a phone call coming in. Okay, hold that thought. I'll hold that thought. Let's see. Hi, it's Coach Shan. Hold on, let's see. Hold on one second. Hi.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Uh-oh. What just happened? Uh-oh. 1 second. This is our first episode, so someone just called. Let's see. Can we call them back? Fingers crossed. Let's call back. Let's see if we can get them back on the phone. Oh, but while we're waiting on that, what I was saying was, you could either like sometimes be put in a social media post by like liking it or sharing it or even being tagged in those posts. And it may be something that you don't want to be representing like who you are as a person. So please be mindful of that. Put on some social media securities on your Facebook, Instagram, all the things, and make sure you can monitor your profile to know what people are actually adding to your profile, and it's something that you really want to be attached to. Let's see. So this person tried to call at 8:09. She said it's ringing. Hold on, let's see. Voicemail again. What's going on here? How should I do this? Okay, let's see. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is our first time accepting phone calls and interacting in this manner. And so I'm trying to see if we can get the caller back on the phone. And my assistant is working in the background trying to help as well. Let's see. A little bit of a kink. Let's see. It's literally going straight to, let's see.
Your call from LALBURNGA 7708158.
Hello, this is Coach Shan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so sorry about that. Thank you so much for your resilience and staying on. My assistant shared that we had some issues getting you on the call. So thank you so much for your resilience.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. So I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know your actual company, but will you share with us your age, your industry, and your issue?
Okay, so I'm 42 and I work in retail. And my issue is I'm a manager and I have other managers that work with me that's on the same level as me. But for some reason I get held to a higher standard than the other managers when work is supposed to be getting done. So for instance, let's say that the store manager gives us a duty to do, and we have this amount of time to do it. If that person doesn't do it, they just brush it off their shoulders because they're saying, okay, well, if he don't do it, this one's gonna get it done. And I don't feel like that's fair. So I would just like to know what's the good resolution.
Oh, this is a great one. So before we unpack this, I got a question. Are you ready to be coached today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, let's just unpack together. So my first question to you is, in this role, how far do you want to go with this company?
But I have already been with them for a long time, so pretty much further.
So you rose from an employee to a manager, and you're looking to be what's the highest level you want to achieve with this organization?
Store manager. Probably I want to go to the market, be a market manager.
So you want to be a market manager. So you have goals. Yes. You have goals within this organization.
Yes.
Okay. That's important for you to think about as we unpack the issue, because I want you to make sure that you write down today that one of your ultimate goals is to be a market manager within this organization. Yes. And having that goal should also be a guiding light for you. So knowing that you have a goal and you're now sitting up against where you have a counterpart that is not held to a higher standard, let's talk about what are the standards. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So what?
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, what are the standards?
Yeah, so the standards are, we have to make sure that our stuff is cleaned and organized. We have to make sure stuff get worked whenever we come to work, and make sure that the customers are taken care of at a timely manner to meet our metrics.
Do you know your metrics?
If we don't, yes. So from when I first started in this position, our metrics, we were 2,200. We ranked 2,200 out of 2,500 people.
Okay.
Now we're at 523 out of 2,500 people.
Wow.
And we're moving towards becoming number one.
That is awesome. So you're moving towards becoming number one. And so you're on this team that has helped shown this tremendous growth in the organization.
Yes.
Okay, so write that down to number one, you have a goal to become, a middle market manager. Number two, you've been a part of this tremendous growth in the organization. Tell me this, how do you know the other manager is not held to the same standards?
Because when things don't get done, then they rely on me to make sure it gets done. And whenever they talk about him, they just like, oh, okay, we're going to talk to him, but they never hold him accountable. But every time it comes to stuff getting done, they be like, oh, she's going to get it done, so it's okay. And they just give him a slap on the wrist and say, well, you have to start helping her get this done. And he say, okay, and then they let it go.
Oh, that's a good call out. So tell me this, how long has he been with the business?
I think 4 years.
4 years? And how long have you?
19.
19. So 4 years to 19 years. Question, do you think he have the skills and the competency to actually get the job done?
He has the skills. Yes, he does. It's just that they've been letting him get by for so long to where he's gotten comfortable with how he does things, and he's gotten comfortable to where he knows that they're not going to hold him accountable. Even before I even came to this position, he was doing the same thing, but everybody just pushed it over, and that's what they're still doing now, pushing it over.
So tell me, I know you may not know for sure, but why do you think they're pushing it over?
I don't know. I can't really say. It just feels like to me that they're scared of holding him accountable. I can't even say. I don't even know, because they're higher ranked. They know better. They know what's supposed to be done. They know that if a person doesn't perform well, then you have to take the proper steps to make them perform, or they don't need to be in that position.
Right.
So I can't even tell you why they're not holding him up to the standards.
And how frustrating is that to you?
Real frustrating. And I complain to my other supervisor, my immediate supervisor, every day, and he just says, okay, I'm gonna talk to his supervisor, because his supervisor has the last say so.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because my supervisor wanted to do something about the situation, but then his supervisor told him to just hold off a little while. Let's see what happens. But there's no improvement. He'll improve for a couple of days or a week or two, and then it's back to the same job. It's back to the same way he was before.
Okay, I have a hard question for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
What do you think you can do as a person who's been there for 19 years to help this new manager come on board so that you all can achieve your goals?
So I like to teach and train everybody. So even if we are on the same level, I still try to teach and train him and let him know, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how we should do this. And he actually listens, and he act like he cares at that moment, and he listens to everything I say. Like, I teach him the way that I do things so that we can make it better together. And he's like, okay, can you give me an idea on how we should do this, or how I can make this go by faster so they can leave me alone? Or can you give me some pointers on how you can manage this so that we can get by? Because when you hear it seems to go good. But when I'm here, it's always a problem. So I give him pointers on what he should do, and he'll listen. Like, it's okay. And then a couple days later, it's back to the old way. So I don't know.
No, I can tell. So tell me this. You've already tried to like give him pointers and you like to teach
Yeah.
and train. What is another next step that you could do? Because I'm only asking this because you have goals in your business
Yeah.
and you all are really close to meeting those goals and he is on your team. So although you're not accountable for him and we want to hold him accountable, what can we do like within your own sphere of influence that can help him be more accountable?
I would say I can't really say. I don't really know because I think I'll try everything that I could try. Because I try to like put him with me, but when he's with me, like when we're working together, he does everything perfect. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, why you can't do this when you're alone?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's like he needs somebody to be under him. It's like, you know how people don't like micromanagers. But
Mm-hmm.
this person seems like he needs a micromanager in order for him to work great. Because he is a great worker. Like, he can do it. He has that skill to do it. It's just like if nobody's on him or around him, then it won't get done. Like if he's by his stuff working for that day, the stuff won't get done. But if we working in a group, like he has to be working with a team to feel like he accomplished something. So maybe if he's around more people a lot, then maybe he'll push himself more. But when he's by himself, he has no motivation. Maybe he needs that motivation to push himself. He needs people to applaud him.
Oh, I like it.
Maybe he's that type of person.
Yeah, no, I think you're coming up with some really great thoughts about him and how what he's doing is actually impacting what you're doing. So it seems like you're telling me that he likes hands-on support. He likes
Yeah.
people to be interacting with him often. Is this something that you could share with your manager?
Yes.
So if you was to share this with your manager, how would you share it with him or her?
I would have a meeting with him.
Right.
And let him know my thoughts.
Okay. So in your meeting with him, you would share, what would you share?
How I think we could help my teammate improve on their productivity as well as make him better to be a better team partner with me.
No, I love
we can
that.
make sure that we can have great standards and we can have a greater outcome than what we have, because if we become a team and that's what we're supposed to be, then we can do better and get to our number one spot faster.
I love it. So what are the top 3 things that you've learned tonight as far as like what you could do to help him be better so that we can hold him accountable?
To communicate better,
Mm-hmm.
to teach him how to work as a team, and help him to be more productive.
And you said you're going to share with your manager. You're going to share with your manager that he needs a
Yeah.
little bit more, not to be micromanaged, but needs some more like hands-on support.
Yes, yes.
So you're going to leave this call today and do what? Tonight.
Go back to my store and make things better.
Right. But tell me what you're going to do. Like, what's the action you're going to take? What's your next step?
My next step is to go to work and have a meeting with my supervisor.
Yeah. And you're going to give your supervisor some insights on best practices to support your colleague who's not holding up to the level. Right.
Yes.
And then perhaps that may be an avenue to help your manager hold your colleague accountable.
Yes. And hopefully it'll help him to do better once he sees the pros and cons of it all.
That's great. So tell me, how do you feel about this coaching call? How do you feel?
I feel good. I was nervous.
So what? But what you're thinking, so as an example, like before we got on the call, and remember we're live, we're talking, and everyone is listening here, were you thinking like, hey, all I need to do is just go tell my manager that our colleague needs more support? Were you thinking that before?
No,
Okay. But these questions kind of help.
I was thinking
Yeah, go ahead.
getting rid of him.
You were thinking get rid of him. No. So sometimes when you're in leadership and you have, leaderships that are above you and you have like stakeholders that are also part of your success, number one, knowing your success is what's important. Like if this person performs, you're easily able to move to your next level, which you still have goals within this company. So that's why you care so much about his success. That's why I wanted to make sure you knew that in the beginning. Is like you have goals, you have metrics, you are close to them, and the next best step is to really help your colleague be more accountable. Be more accountable by helping your manager understand how to help him, because you're with this person every day and you see that with you he's doing well. Without you, he needs more support. So it's the next step for you is give your direct report, your manager, feedback on how to help him be successful.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for calling, Shandria, and let's circling back today with your issues. I totally want to know how this goes. So once you talk to your manager and move forward with giving that feedback on what you're gonna do, please call me back within the next couple of weeks and let me know how it goes.
I got you.
Thank you for your call. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So did you hear how we just unpacked that issue together? Like caller joined and her issue was her colleague wasn't being held accountable. And I know many of you can like attest to her issue, like frustrated that your colleague is not being held accountable. And the first question I asked her was really important because where she's seeing herself in that company is the catalyst to how she should be responding and interacting to what she's going to do next about her colleague. And she wanted to grow. She wanted to be promoted. She wanted to go, forward in this business. And so her mentoring and interacting with her colleague in a really positive light is important to her success and her impact. Because what we didn't talk about, but what we do know is that if she's actually able to help her manager help her colleague, oh, sis is going to get paid and she's going to get promoted. Because sometimes it's really the big picture. So as a new manager, I like to say it's called punching above your weight. Punching above your weight is when you see that someone's on your level and they're not doing what they should be doing, but it's holding you back from your success. Before you cancel them out, before you tell them to get fired, do what you can to help your manager coach, support them, engage with them so they can be successful. So, hey, this is Shandria Circles Back. We're talking about accountability tonight. And what a great conversation, because we're trying to hold Miss, what's her name? Ramirez accountable for what happened at the Waffle House. I want to hold you accountable for ensuring that you know what social media policy is. And also, if you are a new manager, a middle manager, in any management role where you have metrics with other people that are shared, do your best to help them, because that is now a part of your success story. And when you can show that value in your business, it's also your business to go back and write it down that success happened. So when it's time to get promoted, when it's time to do your evaluation, you have the success story. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I would love to take any questions from anyone. Team, if you see any questions in the chat that we can to speak to, I am very, very happy to take your questions. And you're live with Shandria Circles Back. So I have my team to take a look at the chat box to see if we have any questions that's popped up. And if we don't answer your question tonight, please send me an email at Shandria@highercultures.com, like hire me, Shandria@highercultures.com. If you have questions or you feel like I didn't coach her well, if I didn't help her get to what she needs to do next, you call and tell me that too. I would love to know what you think about what we soft here. The number one thing to coaching is not for me to share with you what you should do. Let me tell you the reason why. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to do what I told you to do. But if you came up with it yourself, there's a strong chance that you're actually going to do what you say you're going to do. So the form of coaching is always asking the right questions to help guide you to what you really, really want to do next. So I hope this call calls us back and let us know how it went. But I'm almost certain that it's going to go well. The guy's going to get coaching. He's going to have some side-by-side support. They're going to meet their goals. And she's going to be off and promoted as a middle market manager. Fingers crossed. But I have a good feeling that's going to happen. Team, do you see anything on questions? Any questions or anything in the chat? Yeah, I'm so excited about Shandria Circles Back. Like, it's like the radio show that's live, that's like confidential, but we're answering your questions. But the goal is for you to like leave these calls and know what you can do next. But also, you don't have to go to bed worrying about what you want to do. This lady literally wanted him to be let go. She went from letting him go to let's talk to the manager one more time. She seemed a little bit more optimistic too. So I'm excited to like bring that vibe and that insight to her so that she can partner better with her colleague. Any questions? Nothing? You see a couple questions? Okay, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, look, I'm like, I have imaginary music in my head. I'm always dancing because I get so excited. Also, another thing, I love to talk and I get very excited. So if you hear me talking and I start talking too fast, like I literally work on it. I'm on big stages all around the world all the time, and I still talk really fast. I get so excited because like people are so important to me, and we're just so close to you either reaching your goal, solving your problem. And for me to be a part of that, like I literally couldn't do any other job. I absolutely love being that person that can solve complex issues. I love it. Okay, let's see. All right, I got some questions that came in. My team is in the back helping. Okay, how do you encourage new employees to build strong relationship with their teammates and partners? Ooh, wonderful question. It was, as you know, I talk fast. How do you encourage new employees to build strong relationships with their teammates and partners? Let me tell you this. When you work at an organization in any capacity, there's a vision and there's a mission. In your department and your relationship with your current employees or even your colleagues that are cross-functional, like different departments, each of you are like a puzzle piece to this like big puzzle. And when you all share that vision and stand on the vision, like the new word is stand on business. I'm going to tell you to stand on vision because honestly, you may not like the person. You may think this person is really hard to like interact with and deal with. But when you remember the vision of your organization and the mission of your department, then you all can find some ways to build rapport. I think it's also very important, no matter if you're virtually working virtual or on site, for you to spend some time getting to know each other. So maybe you can initiate like, easy icebreakers in the beginning of all your conversations where I'm talking about you get to know each other. Like what's your favorite color? It's a good question because when you like are shopping or doing something for that colleague, you can remember their favorite color and it actually makes a big difference. So icebreakers, understanding what drives them, learning about their families, like giving that kudo when your colleague comes through. And when I say come through, I mean complete the job, help you with the task, go out of their way to show you that they care about what you're doing and what you love about what they love about you. Like be very intentional. And the relationships is pretty much are built off of trust and it's earned, but you can earn it literally from icebreakers to credibility, supporting their ideas, sending them different articles and educational materials to support their growth. Those are some ways that you as a leader can do your part. Now, once you start modeling that behavior, they will too. Because humans, like, we love to like mirror other people. Try this. So tomorrow or whenever you get a chance, have a water bottle, drink some water. I can almost guarantee you, if you're on a virtual call or you're in person, someone else will drink their water right after you. And the reason why is because we like to model behavior. So you model the behavior, you champion the relationship, and they're going to see that you're doing that, and they will too. But stand on the business of shared vision, and you can work with anyone. Because if you can share that vision and you know your deepest desire for that company and even for your life as a career professional, you know where you want to go. Don't let anyone get in the way of that. Absolutely no one. And standing on that shared vision is what's really going to help you get to the next level. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning into Shangria Circles Back. And we'll be live next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we were able to, we have a storm coming. So in Georgia, is Hurricane Helen is almost here. But we were able to get through the live tonight. I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about this again and again all night. My husband's going to hate it. And my son is wanting to come in. Is William still around? No? He was upset. You all have to meet William. He was totally thinking he was going to join the podcast tonight. And I was going to let him come in at the end, but here we are. But thank you all so much for joining. Have a wonderful night. And I'll see you next Wednesday so we can circle back again at 8 p.m. Thank you.